Welcome to the Super Fantastic Exchange, where we have inspired conversations with inspiring leaders. And today, I am extremely excited to bring such an incredible, inspiring leader, none other than I practiced earlier, Tara Samuels. Y'all give it up for Tara.
You did such a good job.
I did. I appreciate the correction because I truly believe your name is, you know, is so important, in getting and having people pronounce your name correctly is valuable. So Tara Samuels, I got it. Thank you for correcting me. We're going
Yes,
to make this happen. So
you
Tara
got it.
Samuels, love it. Well, Tara, thank you so much for joining us today on the Super Fantastic Exchange. Before we get started, I want to give you a chance to share a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, I think it's actually kind of ironic that we're having this conversation during RPM Careers Week, right? It's
That's
actually
right.
very timely because I posted yesterday how I got started in this industry. So first and foremost, I'm a mom. We have a blended family of 3 kids. I'm a wife. I actually met my husband in the multifamily industry. He and I are still working in the industry today. We're both on the supplier side. And my mother-in-law is in the industry. Well, actually just retired. My cousin's in the industry. So I just feel like there was a calling one day that Tara has to go into multifamily. And I got my start by being so fascinated with the leasing process when I got my first apartment. And this is what I posted yesterday, Pine Hill Apartments in Wheeling, Illinois. It was maybe what you would call a C-class community in our days, but man, I thought that thing was the Taj Mahal. And somehow I just was like, how do I become a leasing agent? And I started part-time. And so I've been in the industry for over 20 years. And I tried to leave, and I've told people that this is the boomerang industry. You try to leave, it's going to bring you right back. So that's me. I moved to Atlanta, July of 2022, but I'm a Chicago girl through and through. So that's me in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's you in a nutshell. But I love that the multifamily industry is just in your family, so pervasive. I mean, you got sucked into it, just intrigued by it by
Mhm.
simply applying for an apartment.
Yes.
And I love, and we're doing this conversation during RPM week, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But you really are, Tara, one of those incredibly inspiring leaders, and you've done so many incredible things, for the industry. And I have to, and I'm always inspired by you. And so that's why I connected with you, because I love to peek behind the curtain and see what inspires an inspiring leader.
Yes.
So I asked you, I was like, Tara, what inspires you? You came back with 3 incredible points, and I can't wait to jump into these. So the first one, which I believe is so amazing what you've done for the industry, is you founded Multifamily Mentor Matchmaking. So unpack that a little bit for us. What does that mean for you? Why did you do this, and why does this inspire you to create this mentor matchmaking for the multifamily industry?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that I'm inspirational. I feel like when you are so passionate about something, then it radiates, right? And so for mentorship specifically, I have been so fortunate to have 3 specific people in my life, 2 in multifamily and 1 outside of multifamily, who have just allowed me to be courageous and to take steps towards being uncomfortable,
Mhm.
but also to see my own value. And I will say that for years I thought, like, gosh, how lucky am I? But then as I progressed in my career, I thought to myself, like, doesn't everyone have these people? Like, I'm sure people have to have a mentor. And it dawned on me that there is a lot of void in this industry. However, it's not if you go on LinkedIn, I bet you every day somebody is talking about mentorship in some
Mhm.
capacity. And so for years and years, I kept thinking, like, somebody needs to do something about this, because I was kind of looking to the apartment associations just to see, like, oh, is there something? Is there a class? Is there a how-to manual? No. So after getting out of my own head, there was a lot of like trash talk going on up here saying, you don't know anything about mentorship, Tara, so don't even think about starting anything. But then one day I said, you know what? If someone's going to do it, it has to be me. And I'm just going to, I had no book, no template, no roadmap. I just said, I'm going to put my foot on the gas and I'm just going to go. And the way I started is I'm working on vulnerability, Gary. So my vulnerable post on LinkedIn back in, gosh, this was December of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just put it out there and was like, hey, if I decided to start this like mentor matchmaking thing, would anyone join? Is this a thing? And I was hoping for 10 people.
Uh-huh.
10, that's it. Because then I
Just
could
10.
match 5 people together with 5 people.
Yeah.
Easy math, right? And you know what it took was I got a little bit of validation from two industry icons, Steve Halsey and Dr. Debbie Phillips. They basically came behind me and said, I've got your back. Steve Halsey was like, hey, whatever you need, I will basically be your foundation. I'll help you. He was on our initial launch call. I've paired him with some mentees, and the rest is history. So it is my passion, my blood, sweat, and tears, and I spend 20 to 25 hours a week trying to keep this thing going, along with
Wow.
my day job.
Well, of course. And family, all
And,
the
oh,
other
that's
stuff.
right. I'm a
Yeah,
mom
yeah.
and a wife. I forgot about that.
But what I find incredible is one, you identified kind of a like you said, it called it a void or a gap in the industry where there was an opportunity that you just, a lot of times we assume, oh, other people are doing this thing or other people are making sure this is happening. But you found it through your curiosity that, hey,
Mhm.
there's this gap because you benefited from having mentors. I've benefited from having mentors, and I'm sure you probably agree with me. Having a mentors is game changing. I mean, it really can be if you really, engage and invest in
100%.
that. But in your heart, I could see that you have this heart of serving others to make sure that they had what you had and creating a platform for this to happen.
Mhm.
And you've got 450 members now. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and you know what? I will tell you, I got to plug Joe Summers here because he's been part of the original group and he's like, Tara, we're going to get to 600, or I think he pushed me to say 600 by the end of 2024, but at this
Mhm.
pace, we're going to surpass that.
That's awesome.
So, I don't have like a specific number in mind, but with goals, you want to achieve and have milestones. And so I will tell you the best part about what we're doing here is that about 75% of the growth has come from referrals.
Ooh.
People who've been in the group who have said, I find value in this group. Let me tell you about this group. And so I keep track of it, and it's the most flattering thing that happens. And 3 people joined just yesterday, and part of how I welcome them, and it was late at night, as I make sure, and one of the things that kind of makes this group different, I think, is the special attention I try to give each member. And I handwrite a card to everybody saying, thank you for not only joining the group, but believing in me. And I hope to help them in their journey. And it's what keeps me going late at night when I really just want to watch reality TV sometimes.
You got
So
you.
there we go.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. And I love your heart to support and to help other people to have the benefit of a mentor. And we're going to make sure we put a link to Multifamily Mentor Matchmaking in the show notes. So if you're curious about it, if you have not heard about it or connected with Tara and her group, make sure you get connected. So we'll put that link in there so you can easily connect with them.
One
Now,
side note, Gary, is we're
yes.
building the website.
Ooh.
So I will tell you right now, behind the scenes, it's under construction. We
Hmm.
do have a private LinkedIn group for members that join. But right now, what we have is a questionnaire to get you started. But
Okay.
rest assured, there's going to be a beautiful website with testimonials and videos and the members and all the things. It's just under construction right now, but I'm excited for it to launch.
That's all right. We'll at minimum, we'll put your link, your LinkedIn link there so people can connect with you and
Fab.
get connected. I love it. So the second thing that you shared with me that inspires you is a self-described relationship building architect. Woo! That sounds fancy. So what does that mean to you? What do you relationship building architect? What is that and how does that inspire you?
Um, I think so for there was kind of a running joke with my LinkedIn name because it was like 75 characters long for the longest time, where my middle name was networking takes work, because in the word network is work.
Ooh.
And then I also, when I founded Multifamily Mentor Matchmaking, I have to recognize that. So I finally was like, okay, everyone kind of knows that I'm the networking person and I'm fond of that and it takes work, but I had to remove it from my name because it was just, by the time you tagged me, you're out of characters. Um, so really what it means to me is I guess I just realized early on that the only way I could be a good networker is to be authentic and to do nothing that was scripted. If someone said like, hey, you have to do it this way,
Mhm.
chances are I was going to do it the other way. And what does that mean? It means that I've been in multifamily for a really long time. Even as a property manager and in leasing, I was in sales. But I hate the word sales. It is an awful word. I just don't like it. And so for me, I had always said, if you want me to sell your solution, whatever widget or service that is, I'm
Mhm.
happy to do it, but I am not going to sell. I am going to build a relationship, build trust, build a rapport, so that then when the need for our widget or service arises, they think of me and they think of that company. And it's then becomes a natural
Mhm.
sale. There's just something about like, and that's why I'm like, okay, I'm architecting, I'm building relationships which will then benefit me later, benefit that person. But the first thing I do when I connect with someone is I try to just say like, how can I help you? Who can I introduce you to? Not will you buy my widget?
Mhm.
So this is just a lesson over time where I just said I have to remain true to me, which is being silly, authentic, just human. I'm not scripted and I don't want to be. And so that has served me well. And that just kind of sums up. So yeah, I coined the phrase relationship building architect. I don't know if anyone else out there has it, but that's how I feel that I am. So
Oh my, well, we're tagging it to you. We're giving you all of the kudos that it is yours. So, and I love that you've created this skill and you've recognized, I have this awareness that the skill of sales is actually through building relationships and networking and connecting and saying, hey, how can I help you?
mhm.
And so I love that you've really created that kind of you've shifted the sales approach, sales world to more of a relationship building. So now for me, I know if I ever need a network, you're the person I connect with. And now because you're with a certain company, I automatically connect you. Like if I need some support, if I need some assistance, Tara is the one that I'm connecting with, just
Yeah.
simply because you have done so well at building that relationship, designing and becoming that architect um, of that. And I think you've done a phenomenal job of being that relationship building architect. Great
I
job.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I actually got into I won't say the name of the company, but you get a business card and
Hmm.
on there it said director of sales. And I kid
Oh,
you not, and I have one oh, it's not with me, but I have one to prove it. On every single card before I distributed that to wherever I was going, I crossed off director of sales and I put director of relationship building. No joke.
that's awesome.
I thought I was going to get fired, Gary, but I was
Uh-huh.
like so adamant that, listen, I promise you this will work. I know it's tough when you have a quota and you've got certain
Yeah.
metrics and things like that, but I promise you it works if you do it right. So I'm
Yeah.
not encouraging everybody to be defiant, but it's just what I did.
Well, you're playing the long game,
Yes.
and I believe that will serve you well over time. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. And I think if I got one of your business cards and it was scratched out and director of relationship building, I'd be like, this is the one I'm hanging on to. I'd put that
Hey,
one in my
thanks.
pocket. Yeah. I love it. Well, Tara, so you had a third point, and you've kind of alluded to it a little bit through our conversation here. Is you're inspired by your daily mission to improve vulnerability and self talk, and I love how you added some notes to this, and you brought up James Clear, Atomic Habits, um, but you did something extremely vulnerable, extremely unique that you did something on LinkedIn, and it was amazing. And I'd love for you to kind of unpack that a little bit about your daily mission to improve your vulnerability and self-talk. And if you'll add in, how did James Clear's Atomic Habits inspire you to do this? So I'm gonna give you the floor and let you share that because it's so neat what you did.
Get ready. So, vulnerability number one is sharing the fact that, as a married couple, couples have disagreements. And when you look at, like, if I were to really reflect on what was causing disagreements between my husband and I, he was the only one who in my life really pushed me and challenged me to be more vulnerable, because when you're more vulnerable, you make less assumptions and you're just more open-minded. And so I don't know why I selected the time that I did. It was I launched what I called Project 66. And the timing was such, like, personal life. I was challenging myself and my husband was challenging me to be more vulnerable. A mix of Brene Brown. Who doesn't love a good Brene Brown talk or TED talk or book or podcast? She's got them all. And then I was trying to enhance my networking skills on LinkedIn. There's always been this, like, don't post personal, post personal. It's like this never ending debate. And I'm like, okay. And then the timing was also where I was introduced to Atomic Habits from James Clear. And so how it all kind of started was in the book, he says, and you hear different studies and different facts about this, but I don't know why, but I feel like his is correct. Anytime you try to start a new habit, he believes that it's going to take you 66 days. Sometimes I've heard 21, 30, it ranges. I thought to myself, like, how can I take what he's saying, which I believe to be pretty dang true, and incorporate it into my daily life? What am I struggling with? Well, what's going on up here on a daily basis sucks. It ebbs and flows, right? Even the people who we hold to the highest regard, my mentors, people in the industry, family members, whatever that looks like, they have trash talk too. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to name it, because I felt like if I named my mission, it would help me become more accountable. So I called it Project 66. And all I did, Gary, was I said, every single day I'm going to post on LinkedIn what is going on in my head. And what I would do in the same post, so I'd have the negative trash talk post, and I posted it with a picture. And in the same vein, I would reframe that post to change my mindset. And I would pick a word for that post. So I have a list of 66 words that I didn't pick the words first. They just kind of came to me naturally. And I was sharing this story with someone else where I said, what, isn't it kind of crazy that the very first post that I did was about me sitting, I was at a photo shoot with my daughter. We take pictures together every fall. And I was sitting in this cute dress in a chair, and I looked at and the photographer's like, look at these amazing pictures. And I'm like, look at my fat roll. And he's like, oh my God, Tara, like, why are you focusing on an imperfection? Like, you look beautiful. And I was like, yeah, whatever, you're supposed to say that, you're the photographer. So I'm trash talking what was a beautiful moment, which was I'm sharing this time with my daughter, and I'm nitpicking my stupid fat roll.
No.
Like, what is the matter with me, right? But I know that there's people who are doing the same thing, because, Gary, throughout the 66 days, I did not miss a day. I posted every day, but I will tell you, there were days where I was like, I do not want to post on LinkedIn today. And my husband's like, hey, it's your decision, but you did put out to set and change your habit and your mindset. So
Ooh.
you got to stick with it. And I was like, damn you. Damn you, James Clear, you know. So I said, you know what, by the end of this, I'm sure my self-talk will be reframed, and I will tell you what happened. Has it ebbed and flowed? Yeah, I'm due for another one. I'm due for another Project 66. I'm going to do it again because it was towards the end of 2021 into 2022 that I did this project. You can find it all on LinkedIn. But I had so many people message me privately to say, oh my God, thank you so much. I thought I was the only one who felt like this. The surprising thing, Gary, is most of those people were guys. I thought it was only women who felt like all the trash talk and the self-doubt. No. So it was a mad lesson in vulnerability. And I'm going to do it again because I find myself just roller coasting sometimes. So that's the whole project. And again, it was just me trying to incorporate vulnerability every day.
Yeah. And there's so many things to kind of unpack from what you did. One is not only did you inspire yourself, you kind of encouraged yourself along the way. You had your husband pressing on you to accomplish your mission. You had James Clear in your head as well. Kind of, you can do this. It takes 66 days. But in the bigger picture that I'm gleaning from this story of your Project 66 is that you not only did you help yourself, you encouraged yourself, but you helped so many people, untold numbers of people. I'm sure the people
Mhm.
that private messaged you and or just liked your post or maybe put a comment in the chat or something, but I imagine there were probably so many other people that read your post, probably didn't respond to it, didn't click on it, didn't message you or anything, but because it was there, you inspired them to say, man, if Tara can be vulnerable, if Tara can be authentic, if Tara can share these things that are personal, if you will, and then she can reframe it. If she has this tool to
Yeah.
kind of reset this negativity, this trash talk, if you will, I can do it as well. And so I imagine you inspired countless people through your Project 66. And again, that's just another reason why, Tara, that I truly believe you are an incredibly inspiring leader because you are selfless in your approach to not only through the multifamily mentor matchmaking that you do and relationship building architect, but your Project 66 is just, a personal thing that you wanted to share on LinkedIn and you're helping people just through sharing. And it's just, that's incredible. So Tara, I have to give you all the props in the world for what you are doing, how you are being generous as a leader to inspire not only yourself, but other people as well.
Thanks, Gary. And you know
Just
what I'll
props.
say? I appreciate that so much. To your point, and it's funny because we all kind of rely sometimes on the validation of others with the likes and how many people shared my post and all that crazy nonsense that we're
Mhm.
all guilty of. But what you described of just having that those moments of inspiration where the people who didn't engage are
Mhm.
still affected.
Yeah.
And I call that silent mentorship.
Ooh.
And it is something that I'm talking about it a lot more because the more and more I hear people who are like, well, I don't have any mentees in the industry. I'm not a mentor. Yes, you are. Everyone is a mentor. And the reason I say that is because if you have any sort of public presence, meaning I don't care if you're using Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever your method is, if you are a parent,
Mhm.
you are a mentor. And people are like, no, because I didn't go through a formal training. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing publicly is going to affect someone else. And so, because of that, I want people to recognize that they are a mentor, whether you have the formal label, whether you're in my group, it doesn't matter. So, use that as a point to make sure you keep your content admirable, that you don't regret some of the things that you put out there, because you never know how it's going to affect someone else who happens to see your post. And still be authentic and still be silly or whatever that means to you, but recognize that, and this took me a while to figure out, Gary, but you said it, like, even if somebody doesn't like it or engage with your post, it doesn't mean that it's not being seen.
So good.
That's a lot of weight,
That is.
you
That
know?
when you post online social media or you engage with other people, are you bringing value? Are you adding? Or are you subtracting?
Hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Adding or subtracting. Simple math.
Yeah.
So, Tara, I could talk to you for hours. It has been a pleasure to hear from you and to learn from you, and again to be inspired by you. But we're at the end of our time, and I want to give you a chance to share a closing thought before we wrap up.
Well, you said thought, but I'm going to pluralize it because I want to give you some kudos, which is, I love that what you're doing for our industry with your super fantastic mission, your workbooks, your ways of pushing us. I purchased the workbook. We did a session with the mentor group. You were so gracious with your time to share that with the group. And, so just kudos to you for having these conversations. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I guess my final closing thought is, the most inspirational thing is, like, how can I push other people out of their comfort zone? And if you have not, and I will say this all day long, if you have not seen the movie We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson, go watch it, because there is a lesson about courageousness, being brave, being authentic, and just pushing. In the scene where Matt, have you seen the movie?
I have not. Now
Oh my God, Gary.
I'm
So
writing it down.
it's family friendly. Your kids will actually, you should watch it with your kids because there's some fantastic lessons. It's very family oriented, but there is a scene in the restaurant that you'll see, and I don't want to spoil it, but it talks about how you only need 20 seconds of courage. And if you, and Matt Damon's character, Benjamin Mee, talks about, if you just basically, and I can never quote it correctly, but the premise is, if you just take 20 seconds of courageous courage in your day, what that will do for your life. Whether that's going up to a stranger, whether it's complimenting somebody, whether it's thanking somebody, whether it's making that phone call you don't want to make. If you just think of it as 20 seconds of courageousness, bravery, why can't I talk today? I don't know. It's going to change your life. So I just want to, anytime you're in a situation where you need a little push, just think of that 20 seconds of courage. That's all you need. Even if you don't see the movie, I promise you it's going to change your life.
20 seconds of courage. That's brilliant. I'm gonna put the information of We Bought a Zoo in the show notes as well, underneath
So
your
good.
LinkedIn link. Guys, make sure you connect with Tara Samuels on LinkedIn. I promise you, money back guarantee, it will be a transformational experience to get connected, be a part of the Multifamily Mentor Matchmaking, because it is absolutely brilliant. So, Tara, thank you so much for being part of
Thank
the Super
you.
Fantastic Exchange. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you.